And we're live.
Yeah. Going down. Maybe? Yeah, there we go.
Oh.
It's gonna be great.
Kate, have you seen the overlay?
Pretty good.
Oh, thank you.
That's what I spent the extra 5 minutes doing, in case you were wondering.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Oh gosh. Alright guys, welcome to Side Quest. We are here to have a good time and talk some D&D.
Yeah, we are.
This week, we're going to talk about Jump and Justify, which I'm not an improv person, so I wasn't really sure what this meant in relation to like yes and. So I'm actually going to ask Camille to briefly explain this for us. Because she's
That's fair.
awesome and I love her. And she knows improv and I do not.
Sure. So, in improv, there's two different... Many times when we're playing D&D, we're marrying concepts. In this case, we happen to be marrying the concept of Jump and Justify with kind of rolling with your dice rolls. So in improv, just Jump and Justify is sometimes you're given an offer, and it's a big one, like suddenly you're walking on a tightrope, or you're encouraged to kind of think off the cuff and be weird and be nonsensical. Well, sometimes you're asked to jump, and then you've got to justify your jump. For example, it's encouraging you to take big risks, to take bold strokes. For example, if your character decides that you are flying a kite that looks like a dragon, the idea is not to change your mind and be like, oh, that's too weird, let me just whatever. The idea is to make that jump and then justify it with your actions. With your next few lines or whatever you're gonna do with your scene.
So in D&D, that can look like when you roll dice. Roll really low on something. Well, okay. Why? Why did you roll really low? So can you guys think of some times, any fun, exciting times when you jumped either willingly or unwillingly and then had to justify? Just talk about some of those opportunities.
There's a bard spell that requires you to talk for 1 minute before it actually completes and casts. It's like a friendship spell or something like that. I did not know that before I took the spell, and I cast the spell, and the DM's like, all right, now talk for 1 minute straight and just go right ahead. And completely flabbergasted, I had to just spitball from there on how I was enchanting them with the words and whatnot unexpectedly.
Yes.
Yeah, as a DM, it can be kind of complicated. I think this topic of Jump and Justify can also lead to bigger topics like player agency, and it can lead to I think it invokes an important discussion between the DM and their players. First of all, I like to ask my players, how much of what you do, of what you roll, do you want me to narrate? Some players know. Some players are like, oh no, I want to narrate my own actions because I'm really good at that kind of thing. And other players are like, no, sometimes I have a hard time thinking off the cuff, so go ahead and tell me how it works. And it doesn't have to be always. For me, my players, sometimes I narrate their actions, sometimes they narrate their actions, and so it's a good balancing act. But as a DM, I think it's important for me to think about, because, I mean, I love to play it wrong, but I primarily DM, as y'all know. It's important to think about not, like, so, okay, your player rolls, in my last campaign that Mindy was in, her character asked another character to throw her across some lava.
Can you stop bringing this up?
Never stop bringing this up. She asked this character, and this character has a plus 15 modifier. And I said, this is a really hard check, so interestingly enough, the only way you can fail is if you roll a natural 1. And she's rolling in roll 20, so we all see. Sure enough, she rolls a natural 1. And so we had to, in that moment, justify why Harfig would fail at throwing her best friend across this across this pit of lava. And I think we came up with something like she was really nervous, or her palms were sweaty, knees weak. Yeah, yeah, you know, the whole spiel. And so she got nervous, and it created this really amazing moment. So I think that's part of what just Jump and Justify it's in itself can be a smallish topic, and that's kind of why I chose it for today, especially after last week where we could talk forever about combat. But this topic opens up to broader topics like player agency, like describing your actions, like what happens when your character's supposed to be good at something and rolls really badly. So how do y'all? Yeah. So as Minnie said.
So I think those are really fun. So I really like that you brought this up, because there's something that I was gonna mention, is that communication between the DM and the player, because I am primarily a player, but when I'm playing for a DM that I have a good relationship with, that we kind of can feed off each other, i.e. Camille, we can kind of, like you said, we can play it either way. So my favorite, the one that comes to my mind was I had to roll a perception check. My perception's high, rolled really bad, so I was distracted by fireflies because they were beautiful, and I like beautiful things that are sparkly. So, there are that communication and that knowing kind of that balance, I think, is really important, because there are some times where as a player I'm like, oh, well, I kind of know what's going on in my character's head, but there are other times where my DM, who knows my character very well, might also be like, hey, like, I got you, let me take care of this because you couldn't think fast enough, kind of thing. So it takes that's real. So it kind of takes the pressure off of both parties, I think, if you can establish that foundation of trust that you agree upon.
Yeah, I have a very prissy, like, wizard character who, if something misses, it's usually because she's somehow gotten dirt on her dress or gets really, and it's silly stuff like that. I mean, to take it away from the player agency, but just in terms of, like, justifying, why somebody who isn't good at that, or she whiffs it because she's like, oh, it's a mud monster and I don't want to get anywhere near it. Like, that kind of stuff is like how I've always approached those little rules. I like getting them for that reason, just because it's another, like, wrinkle into the storytelling, and we're not always successful at everything all the time, so it's kind of fun when we fail a little bit, and to make those as good as role-playing moments as we as the successful moments too, because those can be really great and exciting, but having those failures be also equally exciting is, like, really sort of the fun of the game, because that's why we roll dice instead of just tell the story, as part of the storytelling.
Yeah, I think that's a very valid point. Of this is a game. We roll the die. That's why we play D&D, and we don't just tell collective stories. And so it can be. Yeah, I remember that was something I struggled with when I first started playing. Was, oh, a die is gonna decide my fate? I don't get to decide. Like, I don't get to say it. Oh, I don't know if I like that.
But I do like that, the comment of, something that I should be good at, and I roll poorly, because that happens. It's different than leaning into low stats. Like, right. I'm not stealthy. I might try to, like, be sneaky now and again, but this is, like, something I'm really good at, and just having an off day for some reason that I get to now figure out.
I'm actually reminded of a Hoda moment that I was watching, and it was from Kyle. Kyle wanted to jump over a boulder. It was during combat, and the DM had him roll an athletics check or something, and he succeeded, and he did really, really well. He got, like, a really high score on it. And so Kyle's narrating, he's like, yeah, and I somersault over the boulder, and I land, like, 3-point landing, and I'm like, that is so cool. Like, it's that little more integration that he added of, I didn't just successfully it doesn't even, this doesn't, like, what I'm trying to say, this doesn't have to apply to low rolls. This can apply to high rolls as well. It's like, or any roll. It's like, justify the roll, justify what's happened. And when you do, it creates the coolest moments, like somersaulting over a boulder, or like jumping across a building, or noticing that really small.
Tinges. You narrated that for me one time.
Wait, what did I narrate?
One of my characters rolled a very high strength score to athletics. I don't know what it was exactly, but I was able to open a door that I should not have been able to open.
We'd love to hear from more from the birthday girl, and then also from the Hoda guys.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. All right. I am reminded positively of the end of your last campaign. We had a semi-sentient ship, and we had to convince the ship to go in the direction that we wanted to go in. And my wizard with a my warlock, sorry, with a negative wisdom modifier, rolled really, really well consistently, and ended up not only convincing this sentient ship, but also befriending this sentient ship. Like, the ship likes her, likes her now. And that was a really fun result of rolling really well in a scenario that normally she wouldn't have, because her charisma is not that great. She can be very off-putting. So for that to be the result of, all of these high rolls, was very, very cool. And of course, I leaned into it heavily after that. Whenever she wasn't actively with anybody else, she was sitting in some corner of the ship talking to it. So,
Persistence.
Yes, she's very persistent. What about y'all?
Well, let's see. As far as what's it called, jump and justify.
Mhm.
So aside from what you can just do between you and the game master or DM, I find that something that I really enjoy is when I'm like creating a character, whether it be for a one shot or a campaign, even more so, is I try and think of things that I can bring with my character that would be unexpected, that would make the other players react, hopefully, usually in a good way, but a couple of things that are just like kind of a what and a couple of gross or something like that. Like, for instance, I once created a tiefling druid I described her as exotically beautiful, like eggplant purple skin, bald head with like tall antelope horns, and she looks rather attractive and exotic, but then she opens her mouth, her teeth are just black and putrid, and you expect like a fly to come out of her mouth. And so that kind of those kinds of little surprises are just like little, it's like, oh, I'm painting a picture, and then there's this. React.
Amazing.
My God.
And so just like little things like that between, like, not just you and the DM, but also as a player, you have plenty of potential to have like even kind of mini DM moments when it's your character, things that are in your control, to make the worlds more interesting and more involved.
On a GM side of things, something I'll occasionally let my players do is if they want something, like they are a fighter, but they want something from another class completely, is I'll let them take something from another class, a feat or an ability or something like that, but they have to come up with a very compelling backstory reason why. They have to have something that's quirky and weird to go along with it.
Mm-hmm.
I've done something similar where I started a campaign and I said, you can have one magic item. It was Pathfinder. You can have one magic item, but you better come up with a really good backstory reason why you've got it. Like, your ability to have this, like, it could be as rare as you want it to be, as long as it's got an equally rare story to go with it.
That's cool.
Yeah. We can't hear you, Mindy.
Fine. I'm just mostly muttering to myself. It's fine. It's my life.
Everyone roll to read lips.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
So what about the player agency aspect of this, of how comfortable you feel with your DMs and your players, to who describes how things work out, who describes what happens in your role? What's up, Mindy?
I'm just very spoiled.
Get out of here.
In that my DM, plural, but I mean, you are one, and it's probably more so with you because we just have known each other for a long time. I like I said, I like the back and forth kind of balance because there are moments where I have a very distinct idea of why my character did A or B. Like if I did really, really well or really, really poor, like what the motivating factor was, what was the key element that made that happen. But there are also times where I don't know what I should do. And I feel like when you, at least again, with the DMs that I have been fortunate enough to be with, they're usually pretty good at reading me. Not that I'm very hard to read, but but reading like, okay, she's got this, or oh God, I got you. So I like the balance. I like knowing that there are going to be times where I can step in and say something and justify myself, but there are also going to be opportunities if I do feel a little stuck. That I think that's really important, especially if you're just starting playing, because it was really hard. That was something that was really hard for me to do when I first started. So transitioning into taking more ownership of those justify moments.
One of my favorite things with the justify moments is it's kind, and again, that just comes with a lot of DM trust, but having the sort of collaboration on the justify where something happens and you have like this decent-ish idea of how it goes down and what happens, and you introduce the idea and then the DM takes it and runs with it. And so what would have been probably an okay situation coming from a natural 1 or a natural 20 or a really low roll or a really high roll, it doesn't have to be at either end, but you start off with a pretty okay, scenario, and then the DM takes it and makes it that much bigger. It happens a lot in combat. It happens a lot with ability checks to try and do things. The DM says, I rolled a natural 1, so when I try and do this, I actually slip and like bust my chin, and then the DM says, oh well, as you bust your chin, you actually crack the wood plank that you were trying to climb on, or something like that, and then it just gets bigger. So it makes it easier to justify, knowing that you have somebody in your corner to make it that much better.
I feel like that's something that is done a lot on Critical Role. Like a lot of the players will like give sort of the direction that they want to accomplish, and then Matt will just take it, and then because he knows the environment, he knows what kind of end goal is, he sort of helps it along towards that, which is actually very effective.
How do y'all feel about that?
I like it.
You said what Matt Mercer does with Critical Role. Is that something that you would prefer to have in your campaigns? Is that something that you're not sure that you would like? What do you think? Is that like, I ask this because we often hold Matt Mercer to a standard. We hold him as the gold standard for D&D, and it's important to remind. I love that you brought them up in this, especially in this, because it can be important to remind everyone that no one else is Critical Role. Like no one else, we can easily look up to them and take lessons from them, but it doesn't always have to be that way. And many people don't prefer it to be that way. So, what about y'all? Would y'all like to see more of that in y'all's campaign?
I mean, I was just talking about how much I enjoyed it. So in the campaign that I do have, so my opinion's pretty. It helps. I think that it helps enforce the fact that what you do has an impact. When it feels like you're not doing things into the void, when the DM takes your actions and continues them, kind of thing. So that's my opinion on it.
I think that's something you have to develop with your players, though, because everyone has their own different mix of things. What I like the most that Matt Mercer does is, how do you want to do it? When he says that. Or I find that asking your players, like encouraging them by asking them, how do you want to do it? What were you planning on doing? Gets them to interact a lot more often, whereas new players will just automatically assume that you're going to describe it for them.
I like to ask, what does it look like?
Mhm.
That's my favorite thing to ask. What does this look like? Especially when I like, what does this look like when I am busy doing other things and trying to manage a bunch of things and I need somebody to stall for me?
Yeah.
I love to do that. I'm like, okay, well, I need to subtract these hit points, or I need to figure out what the monster is going to do next because you just totally fucked up my plan as usual. So Mindy, what does this spell look like that you cast? And Mindy will take some time to describe it, which gives me plenty of time to do whatever it is that I need to do.
I do think it is one of those things that, like, from Critical Role, like, can be translated to other DMs in a way that still makes it feel like you, versus, because it is such an improv technique and it's a collaborative technique.
Mm-hmm.
Say, okay, how are you doing this? Okay, your part of it looks like this, and then let's expand it. And yes, Mercer does it very well, like, but that's not to say that it always has to look like that, or it has to be some grand epic thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can take that and make it simple, or you can take that and just, it allows that collaborative feel, which is all that we're trying to do. Is, and I think the best games, the games that we like to watch, the games that a lot of us, the games that we like to play are, you know, the ones that are more collaborative like that.
It does take a lot of DM trust. Trusting the DM to take your actions and not completely flub them, because nothing's worse than trying to do something, even if it's a failure, and then having your DM come and, like, make it worse. Because then, instead of owning the failure that you were given and owning it and saying, okay, well, this happened, this is why this happened, and you make it yours. If a DM comes in and says, yeah, you busted your lip, now your lip's bleeding, you look like a doofus, like, it's not, or something like that, you know, where they don't encourage the justification, they almost discourage it. It does. It takes a lot of trust to know that your DM is going to continue along the same theme of what you were doing and make it better.
Hearing the word trust. And we've talked a lot about how, you know, this is great, this collaborative, but it's all based on trust. So how do we as players, how do we as DMs, how do we build that trust so that we get to that point where we're okay with these kinds of interactions happening in game? What does that take?
That's a really good question.
Dinner.
Dinner and a movie.
That's all you need.
I mean,
On one hand, there's the obvious answer of time.
sure.
But I'm wondering if there's specific actions that DMs and players can take.
I would say that for both DMs and players, when you're trying to establish trust, is be sure to put your best foot forward, because I will see for a lot of new players and new DMs, they are very hesitant. They want to sort of observe to see what other people are doing and that sort of thing, which is pretty good for building the trust for them when they are receiving. But for everyone else, it's like there's just kind of this blank profile who's observing, which is okay, but we don't really know anything about you. So don't be afraid to first of all, don't be afraid to mess up, because you can't really mess up too much in D&D. There's always a way to make something work with a rule of cool and such, but just try things, and eventually you'll find your own style, and people will be able to sort of recognize that and then be able to build off it if they can sort of predict, if they can anticipate to a degree what you're going to do, like what your character is, that sort of thing.
I agree.
I feel like there's also the aspect of, oh gosh, I just blanked. Well,
It happens.
Stage fright.
no, I just totally spaced.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, big risk, big reward. Along with what Connor was saying, take risks. And kind of just assuming positive intent.
It's a collaborative game. It's not, you're not against each other.
Yeah.
The other important thing is as a player and as a DM, being able to adjust your expectations, because we all have in our mind what the perfect game would be like, or even not even the perfect game, but the kind of game that we want to play at this point in time. And nothing is worse than putting a lot of effort into a character and a backstory with a campaign that's just a bunch of jokers having fun, making, laughing and playing around at the table, or thinking that you're going to go into a campaign and having a joke character and then everyone else is the super serious, let's get down to business kind of game. And then there are games that are more combat focused, games that are more role play focused. So the other important thing about just jumping and justifying is being able to adjust your expectations for the game that you're in. Because as fun as it would be to be able to say I rolled a natural 1 and then go into the super long in-depth thing about why you rolled the natural 1, it's not as fun when you're like doing this, because it's the whole point of sharing. It's sharing the story. And then you look around the table and somebody's picking their nose, everybody's on their phone waiting for you to finish because it's almost their turn, and then you just don't, it's just not as worth it. So I think that's the important thing with the jumping and justifying is it's important to have communication with your DM so that you can have that trust, but also acknowledging that it's not always going to happen.
Someone mentioned that in the chat with the communication, like that conversation on the front end of what are my expectations? What are your expectations? Do they kind of coincide in a way that we're all gonna like, and if they don't, like, okay, like what do we do about it?
Yeah.
Because that's super real.
Yeah.
I think that something else that's become important for me is for my players and for the DM that I'm playing with is for you to really know yourself. And that can take time too. Recently I was in a call and we were all talking about D&D. It was like 7 or 8 of us, and we were going around talking about our player types, and this one person just didn't know their player type. And they were like, we all went around and we were all talking about what kind of game we like to run. Sorry, y'all. What kind of a game we like to run, or what kind of game we like to play, and they just didn't know. And it's so hard to navigate that. It's hard to, if you don't know, if you're not confident, you don't even have to be the most confident in yourself. As long as you can trust yourself, you can't trust the DM unless you also trust yourself in gaming. And that might be getting a little deep, but you gotta
turn off your phone.
Yeah. So
Amazing.
I would definitely, my first piece of advice that no one has solicited is to know yourself and know what kind of player type you are. That way you can have this better conversation with your DM of like, what do you like? What don't you like? And then that helps lead you to this whole topic.
Great. Yeah. I remember very distinctly when it was a couple months after I'd actually started playing D&D, and my first real campaign, not the first one I actually was in because that was a shit show. My first real campaign was big into character interaction and role play and story, and then I got into Camille's the previous campaign, which was more of the same. And then I go to a local comic shop and I'm like, all right, I got a Paladin of Helm. She's trying real hard. It's going to be great. And half of the characters were lawful evil and pretending, the other half, this was some module in the Underdark. I don't remember the name of it now. And like after 2 sessions, I'm like, okay, I need to completely adjust how I'm playing this game because no one else is. And the DM like caught that a little bit. He had been playing for like 25 years, so he caught that a little bit and tried to like reward me a little bit for getting more into character, but everybody else was just, throwing popcorn across the table and making poop jokes and
Poop
I mean,
jokes.
it was a lot of fun, but after I had changed my mindset about it. So all of my jumping and justifying was usually I slipped on something. Or tripped on something, So
Is there anywhere that we can go wrong in Jump and Justify?
yeah. I would
Yeah.
imagine it's the same way you can go wrong with anything, really. Getting very inappropriate about stuff. Being that one guy in the group, that it's a serious group and you're the jokester, if you roll a natural one, you trip and fall. Just don't make it because, your belt popped off and your pants fell down kind of thing.
I mean, unless you're wearing underwear.
Unless you're wearing underwear,
And if you're not wearing underwear, don't describe to us what you're...
Exactly.
Nobody wants to know that.
I think that's really the only way you could go wrong is what kind of justifying you do and whether it's appropriate for the scenario and the group you're with.
You could also intentionally or not intentionally put someone else's character down or impede the story or something like that by trying to randomly throw something out there and then just kind of putting a stop sign in front of someone or the story.
Mm-hmm.
I think context is important too. Not every action or not even every poor roll needs a button on it, or even every good roll needs a highlight, needs a lamp over it. If you're in the middle of a serious discussion and somebody trips and falls, maybe it's not. And unless it's super serious and you need something to break the tension, or if it's, if you're in this really, on the other hand, if you're in this having ridiculous shenanigans and, you go on this epic whatever, maybe it's time and place. If we're having a bunch of witty back and forth, maybe you don't stop the scene, that witty back and forth with this long thing, or vice versa, reading the scene, reading the context of it.
Which again, I think goes back to trust and communication.
Yeah, and not just with the DM, but with everybody.
Session zeros are important, fam.
They definitely are. One thing we talk about in my session zeros is player agency. It is how much is the DM allowed to say what your character does? How much is the DM? How much do you want the fate of your character to be in the DM's hands? I don't know, you guys from Hoda can tell me, do y'all have session zeros like that?
We haven't started our session 0 yet, but it's supposed to be pretty long.
Oh, you guys are having a session 0?
Yeah, we are. It's starting next week. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, I knew you were starting. I didn't know you were starting in session 0 though. So for those who are interested in Hoda, we had about a 6-month session 0 because they were still completing the actual material for the campaign because they wanted to have it all completed before they started. So yeah, I joined maybe the last 3 weeks of that 6-month session 0. So that was interesting. But yeah, I do very much agree that session 0s are important, especially for people who are joining a campaign with new players or people who they've never seen before. It's important just to make sure you mesh because you don't want to end up being committed to something that you feel you'd be letting everyone down in because you just aren't feeling it. And that's okay.
Yeah, I think that one of the hardest things that anybody ever has to do in a game is leave it.
Or kick someone out.
Or, God forbid, kick someone out. Has anybody ever been in a campaign where someone has left or been kicked out?
How many people have had to kick people out?
Not yet. Price aren't right.
Knock on wood.
Please
don't kick me out.
I've had to
Mindy.
talk to some people,
I've had to talk to some
Okay.
people.
That's fair.
but I have not had to remove, thankfully. So
Yeah. I've had to leave a campaign. How many of you have had to leave a campaign? I've had to leave a campaign, and that was really hard because oh man, I was just so uncomfortable. One of the players was really racist and like made blackface comments. And this was like a streamed podcast, or supposed to be a streamed podcast. And the DM was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna edit that out later." I'm like, "You're gonna edit it out later? Can we just stop it before it begins?"
The fact that you feel like you need to edit it out probably means you shouldn't be saying it at all.
yeah.
That always makes me so angry. Like, personally, as a DM, if I had one player that was making anybody else uncomfortable, I would kick that player out. I would not allow good players to leave just to keep this one person in the game. Ugh, that makes me... Anyway, I could talk forever about that, but...
So here's... I have a question. Sorry. We've talked about like stuff with session zeros and things, but I think, what about things like one-shots or like sort of... Because I've played in like charity games and stuff like that where, of course, we're not going to do a session zero. We like hop in and out, or I'm playing for an hour and playing a couple scenarios and things like that, and then I leave. And I probably in Toronto, I think. I had no idea who I was playing with. I didn't know any of the people. None of us knew each other, and we just had to sort of I mean, granted, there's always that like hope that everybody's cool at the table, but sometimes you just want to roll some dice and play.
Or playing at conventions.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I think as a DM, I haven't run a one-shot in a while, but something that I could be better at doing is having... I know Callan did it when he was running his offline one-shot recently. They had a mini session zero, like a 30-minute segment before the session where they sat down and they just talked about expectations, and then they had one after to kind of discuss how it went. I really like that, and so that's something that I definitely want to be implementing, but I haven't, like historically. I think that's a good point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I've never run them. I have played in them as a player, and I can't speak to like if I feel like it was definitely on the DM to be like open and friendly, and also like establishing safety tools. Like they had, what was great about when I was playing with them is that they had sort of a written out instruction sheet and like that said safety tool, that was all of their safety tool kind of stuff ahead, so that people who were jumping in could read it over really quickly. But in terms of like bringing it back to jumping and justifying and sort of that kind of thing, it was sort of on them to like establish the tone and also bring people in and sort of encourage. There was a lot of new players and sort of encouraging them to leading by example, I guess, actually, by talking about how they ran things, and then sort of inviting the players to participate as well, which I mean, I think in that campaign, my character rolled really poorly and ended up falling in love with the giant space whale that we were fighting, which was a whole scenario. Yeah, as D&D. But because they had like kind of established this tone and established this set of descriptions and stuff like that, I was able to kind of play more with that as well, because I felt comfortable. Just the tone that they had set had made it really comfortable for everybody at the table to kind of push that a little more.
Definitely. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, and getting back to different tones and just being flexible, it is really to your benefit if you're able to do that, because, for instance, Camille and I were playing in a one-shot, the Dadlands or something, and the feel of the tone of that is just completely goofy and just off-the-wall ridiculousness. And if Camille or I had just played with our like D&D roots that is just like sort of serious and very narrative, we wouldn't have been able to enjoy ourselves and just let ourselves go. So if you're able to be flexible, you're going to be able to experience a lot more different types of opportunities and different types of fun. And again, as long as everyone knows what they're there for and knows what like the limits are, what lines not to cross, then you can have a lot of fun. Whether it be just we made some, what was it? We made some pretty off the wall. We made a few off color jokes that maybe wouldn't have made it on stream, but we all kind of knew what we were getting into.
I would not call them off color. I think they were just very silly. I think they were just very dumb and very stupid.
In the tank on the truck.
Okay, maybe not. So, it was a good time.
It was a good time.
All I know is people kept talking about how loud you were laughing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of hooting. There was a lot of hollering.
Hollering.
I could hear it. It was
At
it
one
was good,
point,
though.
I'd made like an Uber remote out of a bunch of remotes, and I used it to stop the tank or the truck behind me. It was insane. It was just so dumb, and it was an amazing time. And I think to Connor's point, it was definitely a tone that we had all established from the very beginning of like, we're dads looking for our kids and our remotes. Like, it's gonna be dumb.
Tone's pretty set.
We're also, just think about it, we're dads. Like, if it does, I don't know how it could be dumber than that, but it was pretty great.
I think another good thing that 5e has done for one-shots is the bonds, beliefs, things like that, those little fill-in things.
Mhm.
If you're doing a one-shot, it's like fill those in and then let everybody else see them as well, so you all have a concept of the character without spending too much time.
Makes sense.
Especially if your character, because it's a one shot, your characters have already known each other.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Mindy, we cannot hear you.
I am sorry. I am very soft spoken. That was a lie.
Yeah, aren't you a teacher?
She's just, her mic has a hard time picking her up sometimes.
My mic really hates me sometimes. I'll get it situated. I don't want to make it worse. I'll fix it at break. I'll just talk really close.
I'm here for it.
Turn this into an ASMR podcast.
Welcome to Open for Adventures side quest.
Too close.
hosted-
Too close. Too close. Too close.
No.
No, that's one of my things. That's one of my things when I have a headset on and somebody like whispers.
in your ear.
No, stop it. Stop it.
Too much chills.
I can't do it when somebody like whispers into the mic and it goes straight into my ear. Mm-mm. That's a big negatory for me.
Aw.
Yeah.
I like it myself. I'm an ASMR fan.
Same.
Can't do the whispers. It creeps me out.
Whisper. Shut. Oh,
Yeah.
love you, mean it. Happy birthday, Beesh.
I'm a guest on the stream. I can't do what I want to be.
Birthday.
By the way, can we get a big happy birthday in chat for Kate?
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Big happy birthday to Kate.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
She's what, 22?
Oh
I was gonna say 21.
no.
Nobody wants to be in their early 20s again.
No.
Yeah, you always aim for 25.
Fair.
Always aim for 25.
Always shoot
I'm
for
28.
I wanted to be 25 when I was under 25. I want to be 25 now that I'm over 25.
25 is a good.
What's my goal? When my students ask how old I am,
25?
please put 25.
You told one of your students you were like 80 something one time. Anyway, I'm derailing.
Fine.
That's
My
hilarious.
mom confirmed it for me via
Thanks,
phone.
guys. Friday the 13th. It's a full moon. I was actually also born on Friday the 13th, so that explains a lot about me, I think.
Please, the mysteries of Kate have been explained.
But
Wonderful.
yeah. Anybody else got anything?
Questions? Any other questions from the chat?
Well, how about this? Aside from like bad rolls and stuff, what are some opportunities in D&D where you can make a jump?
Oh.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming you meant good and like bad and good rolls.
What are opportunities? Yeah, aside
Yeah.
because we talked a lot about like the dice deciding and you have to sort of
Yeah.
make up something for it. But what
They
about
jump
when you're
for it.
outside that?
Backstory NPCs.
Oh gosh, this music got really intense.
I got nervous for some reason. Oh. It's a good question.
I think I think it becomes like a balancing act because I should back up a little bit. Anytime you're role playing, you can jump. You can make a jump.
Mm-hmm.
But it becomes a balancing act of, am I cheesing it? Like am I doing things for like the sake of doing things? Like, for example, we're meeting with some high delegates and one of the players goes and poops on the table. Like, yeah, that's a jump, technically. Sure.
How do you justify that, though?
How do you justify that? You don't. They're like, unless they just had the runs and they couldn't make it. Like, but even then, we don't need that in Dungeons
Not
and
on the
Dragons.
table.
No.
And go to a flower pot or something.
For real.
Literally anything but the table.
I feel like there's whenever you try to do something and you ask the DM, like, do I see anything? Have I found anything? Like, it's just basic. It kind of gets down to basic RP is you ask the DM, hey, have I found anything? And whether or not they have you roll, they can say, no, there's nothing. Yes, there's something. And you spend the next few seconds justifying your success or your failure based on what you've asked. I think it's just such a quintessential part of roleplay itself. It's kind of hard to separate it when not specifically talking about massive successes or massive failures.
So then my question is, and I don't know, maybe I'm jumping around your answer a little bit.
Possibly.
So when you have new players who maybe aren't sure how to do the whole role play thing or a little hesitant or aren't sure exactly like how can you, like, kind of like you're saying, how do you provide opportunities for jumping, maybe as the DM for new players to kind of tackle those that aren't dice rolls? Is that a thing?
That's a good question. How do you encourage your players to jump?
I have found that, like, for instance, outside of like dice rolling, a lot of it would be just like the plain RP. And so I try to make, at least in a session, one kind of off the wall character. And so new players possibly will see that I'm acting stupid and ridiculous, and they will see it as kind of permission to take a step in that direction themselves if they feel so inclined.
I like that.
If you're a DM, you could always, I think, what is it called? Inspiration points. Inspiration points for good role playing, good ideas, things like that. It's built into the system. It's there to encourage people to role play and jump and justify and things like that.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
We have one DM in the chat, or one friend in the chat that says we can give options if they're hesitant. Sometimes we get decision fatigue. Sometimes we get decision paralysis. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember one time on my Sunday game, we were playing, and our rogue had gone unconscious because he was being kidnapped in his bedroom on the second story window, and our warlock had just broken in, and she's trying to think of what to do, and just like jokingly in the chat I said, tackle him out the window and get him out. And she actually did it, and I'm like, oh, I was sort of joking, but okay.
Okay.
Sure.
Here we go.
But yeah, giving options, like maybe, like, again, like giving them the option to be silly, even if they're not quite ready to like think in that direction yet. Like, say, okay, you come across the next bend of the cave and you see a bunch of hyenas. Do you want to run back and tell the rest of your party about what you found? Do you want to throw some of your rations at it to try and befriend them? Or do you want to try and roar like a dragon to scare them all off?
That's some good. That's some really good advice along those lines. That makes me think of sometimes. So with more experienced players, I try to encourage them to not look at their skills and to think, oh, I just want to try to do this thing and not think about how it relates to a skill. But when I have new players, I'm like, well, look at your skill list. Think of one of these things that you could use in the situation. Like if you see a dot next to intimidation, do you think you could use intimidation to get your way out of this? Do you think that you could try a perception check? Things like that. So along those same lines of encouraging I think your way is really good of like setting down 3 options of, especially when they seem so overwhelmed. But if they're just unsure, I think it could be useful to be like, all right, well, let's look at what you've got. Let's work with what you got, like, you know. And then from then on, encourage them to, oh, you're not good at intimidation. Why don't you try it anyway? Or have them come up with an idea that doesn't directly relate to a skill. So,
On the flip side, how do you help? How do you corral people that jump and then justify things that aren't great, like murder hobos? Somebody wants to go stab the farmer. How do you justify that? And your player's like, well, I'm hungry. I want the food that he has. So I'm gonna go stab him.
Consequences for their actions.
Yeah.
Oh, well, they've got their cousin is actually a high-level wizard, and they're gonna come fuck you up.
Fireball.
Fireball!
Bow, 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 bow.
Rocks fall, everyone dies.
Rocks fall, everyone dies.
I think that another way, and this might be, I don't know, this might be a small thing, but and this might be the teacher in me coming out, is, you know, I think what was helpful for me when I first started playing was I had a DM who modeled what it looked like.
Mm-hmm.
So it became a natural part of my play because I was watching somebody do the same thing and kind of show me what it looked like, what it could look like. So I think modeling it is in the game is another way to help new players that aren't really sure.
I am 100% here for self-inserts. I know they get a bad rap, but playing an NPC to help guide your player characters, especially if they're new, especially if they don't know what they're doing, 100% the way to go. That's what Zytharia was for my first players.
I
She
don't know what
was
you're talking about. We knew exactly.
also a cleric for them because they kept dying.
You were fine.
For the record, self-inserts being a bad thing is really recent. That's a new modern society development because you look back on all of the classic literature that we read, they're all self-inserts. Dante's Divine Comedy. Dante is a character.
Well,
He's a character in the
here's-
Divine Comedy.
it's a thing in D&D. Like,
Oh, I find
playing an NPC. I'm talking about self-insert. When I say self-insert, I mean the DM playing an NPC that is used to play as their, like, use the DM, a character that the DM uses to play in the game.
Oh no, yeah. I just it's something that's been looked down on in all forms of creative anything.
Right.
So definitely I think it's necessary for you to enjoy the game to
Well,
make a character that goes along or helps out from time to time. I think it's important.
Sometimes you romance your best friend on stream.
Sometimes.
Thorny Dryad.
Dryad?
Dryad.
Brad.
I don't know how, and it's moving. Stop moving. I really like they pointed out that sometimes inaction also has a consequence. I feel that from the bottom of my sweet, sweet bard soul.
Yes, you do.
That like
Oh yeah.
not making a decision is making a decision.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a fun way to roll. If you do have somebody that's, you know, not sure what to do or a little uncomfortable, like, okay, well, like you've made a decision. So like, this is what's going to happen now, to kind of, oh, okay. Like inaction does not mean that you're off the hook kind of thing.
That's
so, like,
real life. That's real life right there.
I don't like it all the time,
I
but
feel called out.
it be that way. Okay.
Yeah, and that's what I actually thought Camille was talking about with player urgency. Just like a good example is just like if you don't do anything, then you start to see now you're completely surrounded. What do you do now? And that's what I thought character urgency was. I'm not sure what you were talking about, like with how much power the DM has over your character.
Agency.
Oh, that's my ears.
Hello.
Player agency.
Look, you guys.
It's her birthday.
Okay.
We can be done.
All right,
That's
we're done.
I started.
Look.
I'm sorry.
All right, I'm done. That's the last time.
It's her birthday.
But no, I like the way like you described that particular scene is like the everything around you is still happening, even if you are choosing not to do anything. And sometimes it's positive and sometimes it's negative and sometimes it's just changing. It's not good or bad, but acknowledging that is how D&D works, kind of how life works, guys.
How long would you
Life.
give players though?
Situational.
Yeah, depends on how new they are. Like, for instance, for the surrounding thing, I would say, well, it looks like 2 of them are trying to flank you from behind. Do you do anything now?
Yeah.
Build up to the, okay, now you're surrounded.
Yeah.
You see more approaching. They have locked eyes on you.
At that point, that's when I'm like, okay, so you have a few options. Like what Connor said, you have a few options now. What would you?
I can see it now. I can see the paralysis. Let me help you out.
I've never had to do that for Mindy ever.
What?
What? I've never had to do that for you. Never.
Tell if you're being sarcastic or
I
not.
am a little bit. I'm sorry. I love
Spells
you.
are hard.
They're hard, especially Mindy had never played D&D before ever.
What is D&D? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, I think
Oh.
so. Last I checked.
I am on the wrong call. I am so sorry, guys. I will see. What's D&D?
There goes my dog.
Be that way.
Y'all, I just rolled 3 natural 20s at once. I'm gonna do so badly in
What?
this one shot. Yeah.
No, I don't believe
took,
you.
I took a picture
I
of
don't
it.
I don't believe you.
They're all there. I just looked and they're all, I mean, one of them's loaded die, right? So,
You rolled 2 nat 20s.
but 2 of them are natural 20s, and then I got a 20 on the loaded die anyway. So,
This loaded die has 2 natural 20s on it. It doesn't have a 1, 2, or 3. It has an 18, 19, and a 20. So.
Yeah.
And I also just rolled a natural 20 on it. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Must-
It'd be
I-
really impressive if you rolled natural 20 on one that was loaded on a 1 or something.
Totally.
no. So basically, I used up all my good rolls, so I'm gonna do terribly.
It's gonna be great.
Or maybe you're just going to have good luck all day because it's your
It's your
birthday.
It is my birthday, isn't it?
I think that's how that works.
Maybe. Oh gosh.
Do you have any last minute comments? We ready to wrap this up and take a break so we can come back and play some Dungeons and Dragons?
Say, I love
All right,
D&D.
guys.
I
Well,
love them dice. I love them dragons.
be
Love
back
the
in about
dumb
5-ish,
Mhm.
10-ish,
5-ish minutes? Yeah.
ish minutes ish.
See you soon.
Bye.
Oh baby, I love your madness. It's so incredibly beautiful. Oh, you shine like gold, so selfless to all, and wild like an animal. Oh, some would say I'm insane and they're right in a way, but I just love to play and you're fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know and give me your freedom. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium, life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. your pandemonium. Oh baby, I love your madness. It's so incredibly beautiful. Oh, you shine like gold, so selfless to all, and wild like an animal. Some would say I'm insane and they're riding away, but I just love to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know and give me your freedom. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium, life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. The limit of love is endless, I know. Just do what you want with me. Yeah, I want it all. Could care less the cost. I give you my everything. Some would say I'm insane and they're riding away, but I just love to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know and give me your freedom. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium, life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. And give me your freedom. Whoa, yeah, me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium, life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. Oh baby, I love your madness. It's so incredibly beautiful. Oh, you shine like gold, so selfless to all, and wild like an animal. Some would say I'm insane and they're riding away, but I just love to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know and give me your freedom. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium, life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. The limit of love is endless, I know. Just do what you want with me. Yeah, I want it all. Could care less the cost. I give you my everything. Some would say I'm insane and they're riding away, but I just love to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know and give me your freedom. Whoa, love to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know and give me your freedom. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium, life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. The limit of love is endless, I know. Just do what you want with me. Yeah, I want it all. Could care less the cost. I give you my everything. Some would say I'm insane in the right in a way, but I just love to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know and give me your freedom. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium, life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. Give me your freedom. Whoa, yeah, me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium, life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. Oh baby, I love your madness. It's so incredibly beautiful. Oh, you shine like gold, so selfless to all, and wild like an animal. Some would say I'm insane in the right in a way, but I just love to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know and give me your
And we are back.
Hooray!
Hello.
Hello.
We're gonna play some D&Ds.
Yeah, we are.
So, my sweet, sweet, wonderful players, can I please have you all roll a D6?
Dreamcatcher, don't let me down.
Oh, hey.
Oh, you're holding your hands up. Got it. Okay, so 4, 5. So we got 2 2s. Oh, that's okay. Okay. All right. So, Terrence, you are a chef. Verona, you are also a chef. Mortimer, you are the bartender.
Oh,
Leela, what was you? What was
you?
What was
Who are
you? You're the dish girl. And Helena, do you remember what number Helena was?
6.
6. You are a loyal patron.
Sorry, guys, my internet just cut out. What? I missed all of that.
Okay. You're a penguin. No, I'm just joking. You are a loyal patron.
I'm the loyal patron.
You
Great.
are the loyal patron.
Okay, great.
So,
Nobody
we
said
begin our evening in the port city of Evergate. The docks are relatively quiet as the cold winter winds from the sea wrap around the buildings lining the shore. Among the businesses is a small tavern the Wailing Walrus. It is old and worn, but has a distinct feeling of home that attracts both locals and those just traveling through. The tavern is full of hardworking individuals and very loyal customers. Would you care to introduce your characters?
I'll go.
Okay.
I'm Verona. I'm a half-elf. And I've been working here for approximately 3 weeks. I only took this job because I owe somebody some money, and I figured it was an easy gig. My other chef is obnoxious, and I hate them. In fact, the only people I like in this bar are the patrons. Especially because usually they have loose coins in their pockets. And they're easy marks. I guess the dish girl's alright too. I mean, she's a little weird, but it's fine. I am approximately 5'9" with blue hair, blue eyes. I wear a lot of black. I always wear my armor, and I'm never caught dead without a dagger.
So my name is Lilo. I'm Lilo, and I have been working as a dishwasher for 6 years now. They keep telling me that I'm going to be promoted to a server within the next 6 months, and they keep forgetting, which is fine. It might be because my Stitch, I love Stitch. Stitch is the best. He does, however, like to crawl up people's pants legs and see how high he can make them shriek. I tell him not to do that a lot, but they tend to keep him back in the kitchen with me. So I wash dishes on occasion. They let me take the tubs back out so I can see the patrons and see who eventually I'll be able to talk with. But, you know, the promotion's coming. It's really coming. I promise. And that's me. I'm Lilo. Yeah.
Are we doing it in order, or?
We all have different orders. So,
Well, I'll go next. Terrence Phillip. I'm working to be a PI, but currently I'm a chef. I've been working this job for a mighty long time, and I don't think they're going to give me my job as a private detective, but never say never. I'm a goblin, black hair, ready for a fight. That's it.
Alrighty. Well, I'm Helena Weaver. I've been coming to this place for a while to kind of get away when I need some quiet time at home. I've got a couple of kids. They're both older, so they don't need me around as much. I'm a homemaker, but I like to weave. But my favorite thing to do is to, read and study, particularly like history books and things. I like reading about epic battles. I know a lot about them. I'm a little bit older. A lady never discloses her age, but I'm a little older. I've been around a bit. And yeah, I just like coming here. The server's okay. The food's only kind of okay. But you can't beat, like, people who will leave you alone. And they're not complete idiots, so, it's not the worst.
Well, hi there. My name's Mortimer. We'll say Montgomery tonight. Yeah, Mortimer Montgomery. I am the bartender of the Wailing Walrus establishment. I've been here. Yep, I've been here. And people come, they go, and sometimes they come back. I stand about 5'11". I got a long sort of grayish curls that go down past my shoulders. Got a little something right here. Keep eyes on the face, not on down here. But Mort, as some people call me, he'll fix you with a good stiff drink.
God. So, recently, new establishments have brought some competition, and you've begun to hear rumors of Miss Geraldine closing the tavern, which would leave you all without a job. Tonight, you host a wealthy family as they celebrate their daughter's birthday, and there is a distinct feeling of excitement in the air. This could be the turning point for the Wailing Walrus. Night has settled. There are a few patrons, a few guests that are starting to arrive for the festivities, but the guests of honor have not arrived yet. What are you doing?
Do I see anyone who looks particularly oblivious?
There is a pair of elves, one elf, one half elf, and they're just chatting away. They seem very engrossed in conversation, some business deal that didn't go well. Give me an insight check.
Happily. That's a natural 18 plus 6.
Oh God. Okay. The half elf looks like he's just had a really bad day and he's really angry, and I think you probably have a good chance of getting some coin off of him.
I'm gonna pull out a piece of paper and a pencil, like the servers got, the wait staff has. I'm gonna walk up. Hi, sweetheart. You look like you're having a tough day.
You have no idea. You have absolutely no idea.
Why don't you tell me about it?
There was this guy. We were doing a deal, and he bailed on the deal. It's been a week. We've had it. It's in paper. He signed the contract.
Uh-huh.
Can I get a drink, please?
Yeah, sure. Here, and I'll lean over him to look at the menu, and I'll see what he's got in his pockets.
Make a perception check. Investigation. Would that be investigation?
It's up to you. Can I make a sleight of hand check?
Yes. Do that.
Okay. I shit you not. It's a natural 19 plus 6.
Well, you're ridiculous.
I'm sorry. It's Dreamcatcher.
I was gonna say, which dice are you using?
Dreamcatcher.
He's got a few gold pieces in there. He also has a key.
Ooh. I'm gonna take that key.
Are you taking the gold or just the key?
Just the key!
Okay. Okay.
And then I'm gonna walk up to Mort. That guy over there wants a drink.
Oh, did he say which one he wanted?
Did he say which one he wanted?
He's just a ale.
Just an ale. And then I'm gonna go back to the kitchen. That's it.
Well, Mort will go to one of the taps and just pour off a mug of ale. Looking around, don't see any servers, so it's pretty slow still right about now.
Yeah, there's not a lot of people. They're slowly starting to trickle in. Everybody seems pretty chilled. Nobody's in a real hurry here, so.
So, getting prepared for tonight, Mort has meticulously sugar-coated one martini glass with several cherries for his ideal of a perfect Shirley Temple for the birthday girl, and it is just seated on almost this pedestal with a spotlight surrounding it, slowly rotating, just to make other people jealous. And he's just he looks at it every 10 seconds to make sure there's no flies, no one's disturbed it, and he looks again, and then he walks over to the half elf to bring his ale.
Hey, thanks. Where'd that pretty waitress go?
Oh, it's funny you should mention that. She's not a waitress. She's actually a chef. Yeah, I don't know what she's doing out here, but yeah, she's pretty easy on the eyes.
Well, tell her I said thanks. And he'll take his drink.
Oh, sure. If you need anything else, old Mort's got you covered. And the hand is rather hard when he slaps on the back.
He kind of just lifts up the mug of ale that you gave him.
Yeah. And Mort will walk back to the bar.
What's going on in the kitchen?
I'm just flipping burgers, burning them, just black on both sides, and then popping them onto a plate.
You killed them, Terrence. They're dead. What?
Yeah, they're supposed to be dead. They're meat.
People like flavor in their food. We're not
Tons
all
of flavor.
trash goblins like you.
Eh.
You guys hear a big crash again? Because that's actually why Lilo has not been promoted yet. She is very, very, very clumsy.
Lilo?
Yes? Yes?
It's coming out of your paycheck.
Leave them be. They're still new, right?
As this conversation is happening, you see a door coming into the kitchen. You see an older halfling walk through. She's kind of waddling a little bit, wrinkled face, very old, very, very maternal presence about her. What's going on back here? I heard a crash. Lilo, was that you again?
No, yes. It wasn't Stitch. I promise. He's been very good today. He's been very, very, very good today.
We've had this conversation, honey.
I know. I promise. It's been like an hour. I haven't. It's only like I've been really. It was a plate. It's fine.
Was it only one plate this time, dear?
Yes. I promise. Maybe a fork went under the sink, but I'll get that later. I promise. It's. I
Hey.
promise.
If there's more than one plate, I'm going to try and hide it.
Well,
That's broken. Yeah.
make a
broken.
sleight of hand check.
Okay.
Was there more than one plate, Lilo?
Yes. Yes. It probably started off with
Lilo,
one
also
plate.
give me a deception check too.
Okay.
We'll.
Can I help her?
That's fine. Shoot, yeah, we can do that too.
All right. Well, I rolled a 17 the first time and then a 3 the second time.
Sleight of hand is going to be a 15.
19.
Sold. Oh well, just try to do better, sweetheart. Just,
Yes, ma'am.
that's 5 plates this month. We're running out of plates.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
She's gonna walk over to some of the food that seems to be being prepared and kind of look it over. Those look mighty well done.
Yeah, they are. Want some?
Maybe.
I'll just try it.
Oh, I'm actually a vegetarian these days, so
A what?
a vegetarian. Is there a cake? Where's the cake? I told you we had to have a cake. Is there a cake?
I'm assuming this is the owner,
Yes. This
Does
is
she
Miss
have-
Gerald.
Miss Geraldine.
Sorry. And she is as sweet as she is old.
It's totally a cake. It's just waiting in the freezer.
What? Oh, we have a freezer?
Box full of ice.
And I promise Stitch hasn't been anywhere near it. I've kept him very, very, very busy blowing bubbles. I've kept him very, 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 very busy. He hasn't been anywhere near it. Nowhere near it.
Oh, great.
I'm gonna go check the cake. She's gonna.
It's locked. Did we get a cake?
I don't think so.
Where's my key? Who has the key? Starts looking around for the key.
Oh, let me open that for you, Miss Geraldine. I'm gonna pick the lock.
Okay. Is there a cake in this freezer?
I
I don't think so.
Where is it? Is it a cupcake? Is it just really small? She's gonna start moving stuff around. She's looking for this cake.
You know what? I actually think that maybe we left it at the bakery.
Oh, well, that's a silly place to leave a cake.
Well, it was made there, so you
Wait.
know.
Somebody should really go pick it up, I guess.
I'll look.
Nope.
I could. Okay.
Maybe somebody without a stitch, you know. I'll leave you to it. There are things I've got to take care of. She's going to kind of waddle her way back. And before she leaves the kitchen, she's going to try and say, don't forget the cake. Very important.
Yes, Miss Geraldine.
When you dream of it.
Bye, Miss Geraldine.
She will exit the kitchen. Meanwhile, back in the main tavern area, we do see as more people are slowly coming in. We do see Mortimer and Helena. I assume you are.
I'm at my usual spot at the bar, as far away from the door as possible, and I've got a big old book that historical accuracy is sort of questionable. I have my glass of red wine. Is there a steak salad today? That's sort of what I'm interested in.
Oh, well, I mean, you are one of our regulars. I'm sure I can pull something together. Do you want it super burned or just no effort put into it whatsoever? That's kind of our two chefs' specialties.
No effort whatsoever would be great. Thank you, Mort.
All right. And how is your husband doing?
Oh, he's fine. He's gardening. You should see our squash plants this year. They're amazing.
Oh, well, I think I saw Miss Geraldine come by. I'm sure she'd be pleased as punch if you made a little donation to one of those fellas
Oh,
for a
of
menu.
course. Yeah, well, of course. I'll talk to her and we'll see what we can come up with. I'm sure the chefs here will not completely ruin them.
Oh, the bar is set pretty low for that.
I know. Oh, well, you do pour a good drink, though, Mort.
Yeah, the tremor only adds the flavor. And Mort will go back to the back to try and put in his order for a steak salad.
So as you're going in, Miss Geraldine is coming out and she sees you, Helena, and she's just, Helena, it's so good to see you. Are you here for the party?
A party? Oh, no, Geraldine. It's my night off from having to watch the kids. How are you?
Well, trying to make sure we have a good night.
What's this party?
A birthday party for a family of very well. I've known them for ages. Their little girl, Caitlin, her birthday, she's real excited about it.
That is exciting. Well, should I be here? Is that gonna
Of course, your family.
Oh, thank you, Geraldine.
We'll have cake. Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe. Oh god, I forgot.
She kind of like pats a hand on her back as she's walking past, and she's going to. She's still listening. If you continue to have a conversation, but
by the way, Geraldine, Samuel's garden we have more than enough vegetables for ourselves. If you wanted some for the tavern.
I do love a vegetable stew.
Oh, well, yeah, I'll bring some over tomorrow, probably.
That would be wonderful.
Yay. We've got some squash, some tomatoes. He even tried doing kiwi this year, which I know is not a vegetable, but I think he was trying some experimental stuff. I think it's going pretty well.
I've had kiwi with walrus before.
Yeah.
Right. He's gonna go back to cleaning the table. The tables are pretty clean. They've done a pretty good job. Everything's spick and span, but you roll me an insight check.
Okay. 11.
She seems a little more nervous than usual. Can't really tell why or exactly what level that is, but there's something just a little off about the usual interactions that you share as she's brushing off these tables.
All right.
Hey, Geraldine, if there's anything I can do to help with tonight, if some big important, I know I'm usually here. um, this book isn't that important and it's not that good, frankly, but if you need some help, let me know. I'm here for you.
I appreciate that. If anybody asks, gotta tell them this is the best tavern in the whole city.
Oh, well, it's my favorite. So absolutely.
Well, you're one of my favorites.
Oh, stop. We should get together for coffee sometime.
We should.
Yeah.
How about next Tuesday?
Next Tuesday? I think I can pencil that in.
She gives you a warm smile, and she looks a little. There's a little bit of tension that has left her now.
That's what I do. Mm-hmm. Is there? How many people are here at this point? Does it look like there's party people starting to come in?
Oh yeah, party people are definitely so the half elf and the elf are still kind of hanging out in the corner. But you're starting to see more people that look like they're here for some kind of party, some kind of celebration. They're all chattering excitedly. Some of them have brought little gifts that are prettily wrapped. And eventually you do see a small family of humans, all with various shades of brown hair, walk in. And you see an older teenager. It's about 18. He looks like really, she's got this demeanor about her that she's really excited. You get the impression that this might be the birthday girl. And then you see two younger siblings, both boys, one who is closer in age to her and one that is much younger, walking around, living his life. It's that age where, you just want to explore everything. His mom's got a tight hold of his hand right now, but he's eyes big, looking around everywhere. The middle brother looks like he doesn't want to be here. But they come in and they see Miss Geraldine and they exchange a little bit of conversation and they seem to start setting up. And the mom kind of lets go of the little one and leads the what you assume to be the birthday girl over towards the bar, eyeing the beautiful glass that has been prepared for the perfect Shirley Temple with interest.
Oh.
Can I go get this cake?
You may certainly do so.
I'm gonna go. How close is the nearest bakery?
It's just down the block. It's like to get there and back, probably 10 minutes, assuming the cake is ready and waiting for you and there's no trouble.
Oh, it is. It will be.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to the bakery, but I don't want to detract from too much.
No. Cool.
At this point, Mort will push open the back door to the kitchen. Hey, where's Verona?
Getting the cake?
Oh, shucks. Terrence, we got an order for a steak salad. I don't suppose you can try. I mean, I know she's only been working here about 3 weeks, but can you try to just do the whole blasé je ne sais quoi thing that she does, where she just throws things in there, maybe spits on it, maybe not, and then just brings it out to the customer. Just as very little fire as necessary.
I have an idea. Don't worry, boss.
All right.
Hey, Leo.
Yes?
How do you feel about a sudden promotion?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Here's an order. Go ahead and cook it. I'll be out back.
Okay. All right. Okay. Stitch. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. How do I cook steak?
You burn it. And I'm going to go out and start handing out my business card to people outside.
That doesn't seem okay. No, it definitely just says it literally says star opposite of burned star on it. So probably not. Okay. Well, I need a steak. Stitch, I need a steak. Stitch is gonna go grab a steak. My little closet friend is gonna scurry around, grab a steak.
And do the cooking for you.
Yes.
Ratatouille the shit.
Oh my gosh, yes.
100%. Stitch is very picky about the trash that he eats and the meat that he eats, so he'll help me not burn it. Okay. All right. There's the salads they're already pre-made because they don't like to do stuff when it's ordered. Okay. All right. I'm gonna try and cook the steak.
Make a cooking check.
Would that be just a dexterity check? Would that be an intelligence check? Dexterity and intelligence?
Give me an intelligence check to see if you know when to flip and when to take it off.
Oh, that was almost a 15.
I guess that's
Instead, you said it's a wisdom
intelligence
check. That's a 7.
Okay, so it looks pretty good. You take it off, or what are you doing with it once you take it off the heat?
I need a plate. Nope, that one's broken. Oh, that one has a crack in it. No, that one. Plate. Okay, put it on the plate, and I'm gonna go find the salad, and I'm going to attempt to slice it up and put it in the salad.
Give me another text check.
Oh, that's good. I rolled an 18, which makes it an 18.
This meat is sliced beautifully. You do notice it is quite bloody, but that seems fine. It looks beautiful, minus the.
It's just very colorful. It's just.
Yes.
It's very colorful. Stitch, you're not allowed in the. You're not allowed in the. You're not allowed. Sit. Stitch, sit. And then he sits. I don't know how long he sits, but he sits. And I turn around and I go to take Miss Helena her salad.
Helena, are you still?
I am. And why? Hello. Wait, who are you? How do I know you?
Miss? Yes, maybe you're Miss Helena. I made your salad. I hope it's. I hope you like it.
Thank you. What's your name, dear?
I'm Lilo. I work in the back, and yes.
Oh, that's why I haven't seen you around here before.
They don't after the last thing with the former mayor and Stitch. They don't really let me out into the because Stitch he likes to get into people's pants and pinch things. Sometimes it's just legs. Sometimes it's not legs. It just depends on his mood. So we're not allowed he's sitting though. He's not out here. He's back. He's back in the. It's fine. Anyway, please, Miss Helena, please enjoy your salad. If it's terrible, please just let me know and I will make it better next time.
I'm sure it's fine, dear. That's just fine. And I fish out like a copper and toss it to her.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm gonna go back inside. Into the back.
And I kind of just move the steak around in the salad and sort of push everything around.
Lilo,
Take a bite.
Yes.
Lilo, Stitch is not sitting where you left him.
Stitch, they actually let me do something other than Stitch. I got to do something other than Stitch. Please don't. Oh God. Okay. All right. I'm gonna try and find Stitch.
Make an investigation check.
God balls. That's not gonna be good enough. That's an 8.
So you start looking around the kitchen. No trace.
Oh God. Oh no, the party's okay. All right. Okay. The party's here. Okay. All right. I'm gonna go and find Mr. Mortimer, who I call Mr. Morty.
He comes back, just having delivered a large tray of old fashions to the party members who can actually drink.
Mr. Morty.
Leo, what are you doing out here, honey?
I can't find Stitch.
Oh. Okay, when's the last time you saw him?
Roughly 45 seconds ago.
All right. I look over at my Shirley Temple glasses. It's still there.
Still there.
Okay. Well, that means I don't have to kill him. But why don't you just stay back in the kitchen, and I'll keep an eye out here, and I'll try and cover as best I can. All right?
Okay. Just he likes the.
He likes the dangles. I'm aware, sweetie. Let's go.
I'm gonna go back and keep trying to find Stitch in the back.
Can I do a perception check to try and find Stitch?
Sure, absolutely.
All right. Oh, I don't have. I get to roll. It's an 11.
You know, you think you catch little bits of movement near out in the like main area, but every time you glance over, you look and there's nothing there.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to tell if it's just fabric moving or if
Mm-hmm.
Stitch might have found his way into the main area.
So what Mortimer's going to do, he's going to take a little, he's going to take a tray that, and he's going to put it like on the bar, like behind the counter. And he's going to have one of those little serving dishes that you put on top of things. He's going to have that handy, and on top of the tray, he's going to put. Can he roll some sort of check to try and figure out what type of food Stitch likes the most?
Sure, I feel like at this point we do give me intelligence with proficiency because you guys are familiar with Stitch.
Okay, 15.
Oh yeah, Lilo, what little snacky things would Stitch be interested in that might persuade him to go there instead of up somebody's pants?
There's a reason why the Stitch-led steak was cooked very, very, very rare. He likes rare meat, not raw. He likes it rare, which means he likes the bits that Terrence cuts off because it's not burnt enough, and the bits that Verona cuts off because they're cooked too much. So he likes little leftover meat bits.
Mm-hmm. Bits. I walk over. Excuse me, Miss Helena. How are you doing on your salad there?
Oh, it's not bad. It's a little rare for my taste, frankly. It's not. I like it a little rare, but this is. Let's say it could use probably another 30 seconds to be quite good enough.
Oh, would you like me to heat that up in the kitchen back there?
Sure, Morty. You take such good care of me. Would you mind topping off my wine too?
Oh, of course. And I, while topping off her wine, I will go ahead and take the plate and then just take my fingers and just scrape the leftover meat just on this platter. And I will hide the serving dish underneath the counter. And then I will go back to the kitchen. Can we get a refire on the steak salad? Maybe, actually, if you two work together, I think we'll see some beautiful things. And that's to our two, Terrence and Lilo, and Mortimer will go back outside.
Say, Terrence, are you still in the kitchen? Did you leave the kitchen?
I was walking around handing out business cards.
Oh, yes.
To detectives.
No, it's just Lilo. Perfect.
Oh,
they can handle the kitchen by themselves.
Will Miss Verona be? This is her job. She's not here right now. I don't know if she's. She hides my plates for me.
Speaking of Verona, Verona, you go to get the cake, but I mean it's late, and the bakery is closed.
That's fine.
Figured it would be. So, what you see before you was a very small, quaint bakery. It makes sense that Miss Geraldine would have ordered a cake from here because she is also a very small business, and small business supporting small businesses. Very small, very cute. All the lights. There's no light coming from inside, but it is also along the docks, facing out towards the sea. What are you gonna do?
2 questions. The first question: is anybody around?
Make a perception check.
Dreamcatcher, don't let me down. You let me down, Dreamcatcher.
Joke's on you, Stitch followed you. Just kidding.
Perception. Oh, cool. That's fine. 7 plus 6, 15. Is that how math
Okay.
works? No, that's not a 6, 7, 8, 9.
13.
13. Close.
It's okay. So you see, it's very cold. It's winter. There's a really strong breeze from the sea, so it's really cold. It's not a place people are just wandering and enjoying a leisurely stroll. There are a couple people out, but for the most part, they seem very focused and intent on wherever they may be going.
Okay. I would like to see if there's a back entrance.
So are you going around? So you're going around towards the back of the building. You do so. You see a door. There's also a window that you could get to.
Are they both locked?
Oh, they are. I mean, yes, they're both.
I will try and pick the lock of the back door.
Roll me a lock picking.
Okay, so my thieves tool check. Thieves tools is gonna be 18 plus 4 plus 4. No, plus 2. 6 plus 18.
It's a lot of numbers. 24.
24.
24.
So you want to describe how this how you
Sure.
do this?
Yeah. This isn't the first time I've broken in this bakery. I get a hankering. I have a sweet tooth. I like their cupcakes, and I work weird hours. And sometimes when the tavern closes at 3 a.m, I want to go get me a freaking cupcake. So I'm gonna go and just I know the tumblers by heart.
Less than 10 seconds, and you are in the bakery again. Still small. There are a lot of cakes on display. There are a couple that are set kind of behind the main counter that you think might be specific orders.
So I'm not completely chaotic. Are any of these orders for the party?
One of them does have Miss Geraldine Gurgelheiner on it.
Miss Geraldine what?
Gurgelheiner.
Bless you. Okay. I'm going to take that, and I'm going to go to the cupcakes.
Okay.
And I'm going to take half the cupcakes.
Okay, you do. Where are you putting these cupcakes?
That's a great question. I'm gonna find a box for the cake.
Sure.
And then I'll put them on top of the box.
So you're just setting them on top of the box.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give me a dex check.
Happily. Okay, that's 9.
So you start. How many cupcakes are you taking?
6. 9. 9 cupcakes.
How many cupcakes?
9, because that's what I rolled a 9.
Oh, okay, 9. So you put the first few on, and it seems like you got a good hand on it. You're pretty nimble. You're pretty dexterous. This isn't, and you've been here before. You know how these work. Once you get to that 5th cupcake, though, it starts to wobble a little bit. You kind of steady yourself. Okay, I'm okay. You go to pick up another cupcake. Put it on. It doesn't quite hit the edge, and it starts to tip, and as you go to catch it, all of the cupcakes fall, and the cake also falls.
Can I catch the cake, please?
Make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Natural funny! Ah! I'm sorry.
Okay, so would you like to describe? So these cupcakes are falling, and it's almost like you're watching it in slow motion, and all you can think is, "Oh my God, I'm gonna get fired, and I cannot lose my job right now." So the cupcakes are falling. There's like a small part of you that's very sad, but you manage to, as you drop the rest of the cupcakes, there's no trying to save those. You manage to scoop. Oh, that's
Thanks,
great.
Leona.
You manage to scoop up the cake, and it is preserved.
Ah! I have a minor silent freak out. I set the cake down. I look at the cupcakes on the floor. I'm not about to waste good cupcakes. So I'm gonna get a bag and I'm gonna put these cupcakes in the bag.
Are you just shoving them in the bag, or
Yeah.
you?
I'm just dropping them in there. Just like I
Okay.
mentioned, just like an assortment of cupcakes. I'm just gonna pick them up. I'm just gonna drop. They're all like deformed and shit. I don't care. Floor cakes.
Perfect. You have a bag of cupcakes now.
Great.
And I need a literal bag.
I'm gonna roll that bag up and I'm gonna put that in my bag so they get nice and smushed.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna take the cake and I'm gonna leave a silver piece on the counter. I'm gonna leave. And I'm gonna lock the door behind me.
Gosh. Okay.
Oh, no.
Make a stealth check
Sure.
make a stealth check up from behind this building.
15 plus 8 is
23.
ha.
Yeah. It's just cold. You made a wrong turn. You have a box. No one's the wiser. You can head back. Everything mostly intact.
Except for my pride.
Except for your pride, but nobody else knows.
I know.
Except
That's all that matters.
It's true. Meanwhile,
Back at the ranch.
back at the ranch. So this party is well underway now. People are starting to settle in. You know, there's conversation being exchanged. Terrence, who are you approaching? There's lots of people here. They're mostly in a good mood. They're going back and forth between greeting the family, saying happy birthday to the birthday girl. But there are moments where they're kind of separated. And how are you approaching them?
I would be approaching the wealthiest and most well-connected looking people, and they're probably taller than me, walking up to about their knees and be like, Terrence, PI, in trading. Nice to meet you.
Oh, it was Terrence, a private investigator.
That is correct. You got a problem, I can solve them.
You a friend of the family? Not sure we've met before.
Yes, I'm a friend of the family.
Roll a deception check.
That would be 18 total.
Okay. So he kind of looks at the cards like, so how much experience do you have in private investigating? I mean, truly.
Hands-on experience? Done. I find all kinds of things.
It's very interesting. Actually, I have a friend who might be interested. Do you mind if I could get another card?
Yes, of course. He hands him like 10.
Thank you. So what did you get the birthday girl tonight?
I got them. And I will pull out from my bag a little baggie that looks to have a bunch of little round things in it.
Oh. What's that?
It's a bag of metallic pearls.
It's a very impressive gift.
Yes. It's not a bag of marbles.
Make a deception check.
All right. That one's not as great. That is a 13.
So he kind of squints at it for a second, but he doesn't seem to care too much about what gift you might be giving. He is interested in your card, though. He's reading it very closely. What kind of information is on this card?
It's very poorly done chicken scratch with a doodle of a goblin with a hat on. And it says it's basically the address for the alley of this location, just out back. Knock on the door 3 times. Ask for Terrence.
So he's
Don't
gonna.
mind the smell of burnt food.
So this chicken scratch. How easy is this chicken scratch to read?
Not.
So he's looking at it, and he's looking at it with a lot of interest. It's kind of hard to say if it's like he's interested in maybe hiring you as a private investigator, or if he just can't read it. But he kind of gives you a polite nod and a smile. That kind of smile you give somebody when you're not really sure what to say. So you're just like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
He kind of walks away. As he walks away, though, you feel something kind of brush up behind you,
Take a look.
and it is Anlo. It is the littlest of the 3 boys, and he's just kind of wandering around. He just kind of pushed past you because he's little and you were in the way.
Pleasure to meet you, sir. Hand him a business card, too. We're probably close to the same height.
He kind of takes it and stares at it, and it looks back at you, and then looks back at the card, and then he just kind of toddles away. But after he gets a few steps away, he kind of glances back, like he's trying to make the connection between the very crudely drawn picture that you have offered him and you. And then he kind of disappears behind some chairs.
At this point, I'd start heading back to the kitchen.
What's going on in the kitchen, guys?
What's the sitch?
I probably definitely had a little major freak out at the prospect of taking Miss Verona's job while she's not even here. Just taking it in general, but she's not even here. And I don't know what to just put the steak. What? I don't even remember what did Mr. Morty tell me? It's not going well in the back. It's just, I'm just like suddenly overwhelmed with the fact that I'm the only one in the kitchen. Suddenly I'm expected to cook things. I don't know where Stitch is, and Verona's not even here. So like I'm not handling the stress very well of my sudden responsibility. That's on the upside, nothing is broken because I have been paralyzed by fear in the center of the kitchen. Yeah. So that's probably what Terrence sees when he comes back is me. Oh, but I should, but also I just can't. I don't. But at the same time, like,
Hey, drink this.
Okay. And
Your rum. Take a moment, chill out, relax. What's the matter? Did you burn the steak like I told you?
No. Mr. Morty gave me an order, and I don't know how to fulfill. I don't know how to fulfill the order. I don't know how to cook the thing. I don't know where Stitch is. Stitch is missing, which could be really, really, really. But you know how we like to pitch things. And then I don't want to take Miss Verona's job when she's not even here. And I don't.
Just.
Also, this is really gross.
Relax. Burn the food. I'll go look for Stitch. Then bring it out when it's just sizzling and black. Do you know what Stitch might be afraid of? Cats. I'll do cats. Don't worry. And then I will do Flock of Familiars, the spell, and summon 3 cats and tell them to go look for Stitch and bring him back to the kitchen. They're big alley cats. One of them's just a big orange one, and they're going to go find and bring back. Those are my boys. Don't worry about it. They have everything handled.
Okay. Will they be okay?
Yeah, I think they'll be fine. Stitch should probably be fine too.
Oh, I'm not really worried about about Stitch. But okay, thank you, Mr. Terrence, sir. I'll try it. Okay. I'm going to. What do I have to cook?
I think it was a steak salad.
I already cooked that though.
No, I wasn't here.
Is there anything written down? Is there some kind of like menu written down?
It
or
was
something?
totally verbal. I asked for a refire.
A refire. I don't know what that means.
Cook it again.
I mean, I know what that means. I don't know. Lilo does not know what that means. Well, it's and it's fire, and therefore I am redoing something involving fire. So probably recooking the steak.
Sounds like you didn't burn it enough. Yeah, I got some leftovers. I'll just pick up like some day-old hamburgers and put it on the plate.
That's no. This is for Miss Helena. We like Miss Helena. She's also not a goblin, so I don't think. Save those. We will save. We'll just.
What is that supposed to mean?
We'll just save those for a special. I'll just recook it. It'll be fine. I'm gonna try and cook it better this time. DM.
Give me an intelligence check at advantage because Terrence is here and will at least let it not be raw.
Okay.
You've done one extreme. Let's see if we can.
Holy shit.
That one? That 20?
I don't know what that means.
Both.
Wait.
Natural 1 and a natural 20.
This is, Terrence, you have a particular taste for like how you like your meat cooked. But even you have to admit that what Lilo has cooked up looks absolutely immaculate. Like you kind of want to sneak a taste right now before it goes out.
Is that Stitch?
Where? Did you find him? Stitch, come on, Stitch. Okay. I don't remember cutting it there.
How did you do that, by the way?
I just...
Hey, kids, you got that salad? Poor Miss Helena's been chewing on the tablecloths here.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Yes.
Oh, well, that looks amazing. Look at you two. I knew this would be a good pairing up, and he'll walk back out.
I hope she likes it. Oh.
Did well, kid.
Verona, this is probably about the time you walk back in after the multiple attempts at cooking a steak salad.
Lilo, did you take my job already?
What? No. I don't. No.
I was kidding.
It's fine. Okay, I want to wash the dishes. Okay, please keep an eye out for Stitch. I don't know where Stitch is. And I cooked a steak salad, but I promise I didn't take your job. I promise. I want to go wash it. Please just keep an eye out for Stitch. And I want to go and I want to start furiously, dangerously washing dishes.
Lilo, I swear to God.
They cooked it better than you did.
I'm sure. I don't doubt it. Whatever. I got the fucking cake. Alright? It's pretty good. Oh, hey. Lilo. I got you something.
Uh-huh.
I got you something.
What you got? What?
Yeah, I got you something.
What'd you get?
I got you a cupcake. I reach into my bag and I pull out a smushed, dropped, deformed cupcake. And I give it to my friend. Happy birthday.
I mean, it's not, but thank you.
Yeah, sure.
It was actually like 3 months. It's fine. This looks delicious.
I'm gonna take the cake out and set it on the counter and just walk away.
Lilo, you do notice there is like a little bit of dirt in the icing, but it's fine. It's cool. It's fine. It's okay. It's kind of like mushed into the icing, so you really can't even tell.
She got me a cupcake. I will not look a gift cupcake in the mouth, thank you. Or in the dirt.
Mortimer, as you go to deliver this salad back, how much are you watching to see if you can, for Stitch? How closely are you watching?
My attention is pretty divided. As always, I am watching my holy grail of martini glasses that
Yes.
will one day become a Shirley Temple.
Of course.
And I'm also watching my Stitch Trap, which is essentially just, meat on a platter. How's that looking?
So, give me a perception check to see how this.
Perception. Oh, went under that. Ooh, not bad. That is a 18.
Okay, so you do see as you turn around with the salad bowl in your hands.
Yeah.
You do see that Stitch is getting ever closer, intrigued by the treat that has been left for him.
I'm going to pull a classic bartender thing. I'm going to put the steak salad bowl on the bar. I'm going to try and slide it all the way down to Helena across the entire bar.
God, give me a dex check.
Yes.
With proficiency, because you are a bartender.
And with that becomes a 19.
Woo!
It's
Do I
like
catch-
right. It stops almost right. It goes a little bit past, but it stops almost right in front of you, Helena.
Yes. Oh, well, that was a fancy new trick, Mortimer. That's excellent.
Crash!
It's like-
I slammed the serving dish down on top of Stitch.
Give me a sleight of hand check to see if
Okay.
you manage to catch him as he.
Come on. That's 12 plus 7, another 19.
Oh, he's definitely caught, and you can hear it. Like you can hear the angry wait a minute, like tapping on the platter. But you definitely got him.
Is everything okay, Mortimer, down there? I heard a crash.
Oh, it sure is now. And he's just going to shove it underneath the counter, and he's going to put what's behind a counter? A bunch of napkins just that are folded up, so it's a good couple of pounds on top of the serving dish. And then, would you mind keeping an eye under the counter if anything just mysteriously crashes or just bursts into flames? Just give me a holler.
Oh, of course, darling. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
but enjoy your salad. It was actually made by little Miss Lilo. I think she's got some real potential.
oh, this is certainly an improvement on the first one. Huh. I should keep her around.
Yeah, she may get a promotion, and I'm not even being sarcastic this time. All right. And Mortimer's going to walk over to the rich family. Hello there, folks, and the birthday girl. Oh, you look just darling. I just wanted to ask how everything's going. Is there any special requests? I got a special something for you, young lady. I think you're really gonna like it.
Oh yeah, what is it?
Well, I don't know if you've heard, but I have a specialty, and it happens to go by the name of Shirley Temple.
A Shirley Temple?
Uh-huh.
Never heard of that.
Well, it is just deliciousness in a glass. It's got cherries. It's got bubbles. It's got a little whipped cream on top, and the icing is just sugar and just wonderfulness. You're going to love it, honey.
That sounds great. Can I have one? Do I get to use that really cool glass?
No one but you can use that glass tonight, young lady.
She kind of turns back to her parents and is like, yeah. Make a perception check.
Okay. Perception. 15?
Teenage little brother, middle brother, Vincent, does not look super pleased with that statement you just made. He's kind of eyeing the glass now.
Mortimer's making a note. But in any case, we're gonna get your, our servers. They're so stealthy they might as well not be here tonight. But I'm sure they already got your order, and I'm gonna check in the kitchen to see how that's going.
Kind of laugh and nod. You can that based on the response, you would assume the waiters have been very quick in and out, and their orders have been collected.
Okay.
and I'll walk on back to the kitchen. Hey, everyone, I got Stitch. He's under control. If you could just keep the entrees and the appetizers coming, that'd be great. Everything's going great. Keep it up, team.
Okay.
Back out.
Miss.
Where? Oh. I was gonna say, where's the little one wandering around at this point? Is he back at the table?
Make a perception check.
Okay. Where are you? That's a 12.
You do not see him.
Okay. I'm eating my steak salad and enjoying my terrible, terrible history book.
So
And kind of listening out for Stitch too, or for whatever is hiding behind the counter.
So you do every so often hear the like trying to move something to get out. But after a little while goes by, Miss Geraldine, you see Miss Geraldine's kind of making her rounds, saying hi to people, and she starts to head back towards the kitchen. Again, she passes you a small smile.
I give her a thumbs up.
Do we have that cake? Did we find the cake?
I got the cake, Miss Geraldine. I got it for you.
Good. It's about time. Leela, what are you? How?
I'm bringing her on as my assistant.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah?
well,
Okay.
she's got that promotion coming up, though.
I figure give her something else to do in the meantime.
Oh. Well, all right, if you say so.
I promise not to drop anything. Nothing. I'm not going to drop anything, especially not knives. I promise it's going to be great.
Miss Geraldine gives you a look, Verona. It's about time. We're gonna sing happy birthday for the birthday girl soon.
Oh, we can all help. I'll help.
All right, bring on the cake. And she kind of toddles on back out the door.
I will bring out the cake. And I'm gonna bring it out as they're singing. And my idea is I'm gonna set the cake down and I'm just gonna pickpocket everybody while they're singing happy birthday.
Roll me a sleight of hand check.
No, it's good. It's good. That's gonna be a 25. I rolled a natural 19.
This is like a really enthusiastic happy birthday. Like, this is like the birthday of all birthdays, and this cake is beautiful, and the candles are just dancing with firelight, and it's gorgeous. And wow, you making bank tonight.
I don't want to rub anybody blind. I just want to like cut people's things in half. I want to take only half of what they got.
Okay, so how many people, by the time the song gets through with that roll, you can probably get about 10 gold out of the people that you
Do I find anything else interesting?
I mean, in pockets, has a good roll. Yeah, so you find one pocket watch.
Ooh.
That looks old, but it might be an antique. Kind of hard to tell. That's about it.
Okay. Happy birthday!
I only trip once. So, and I land on a guest, but it's not that bad.
So, who has a passive perception of 15 or higher? Verona. You notice as the birthday celebrations are kind of like the birthday singing, the birthday cake is coming out. You notice even as you are picking these pockets as you go, everybody else is super engaged here, and you kind of notice Vincent making his way towards the beautiful glass that has been specifically set aside for the Shermie Temple.
Oh, no, you don't. I'm gonna grab the back of his collar and I'm just gonna pick him up. Wait, is he older? He's like
12.
Okay, now I'm grabbing him by the ear.
Give me a. What would this be? He's trying to pose
Athletics, I guess.
I'm
or grapple?
grappling him?
grappling, so pose athletics.
Sure. Why not? Athletics? That's
Yeah.
an 11 on the die, so 10.
Still better. So he does not expect it, and he gets it. You get him by the ear, and he's like, "Ow, ow, 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 ow! Hey, stop, no!" And he's like trying to hit you to let go. No, just. And he's like flailing out to try to knock this glass over.
I want to pull him to me and I say, if you touch that glass, I'm going to slit your throat.
Make an intimidation check with advantage, because he's 12.
13 plus 4 is
17.
17, thank you.
He freezes. His arm drops. The color leaves his face, and he just kind of looks at you.
I flash him a dagger.
He, as soon as he's not moving until you let him go. And the second you let him go, he's going to scurry back to kind of cower behind his dad.
Oh, Helena, thank you for joining in with the song. I did not know you had such a soaring soprano.
Oh, thanks, darling. Well, back in my day, I was, sang with this choir and things, and I had a couple of solos, but, it's always brought me joy, the voice. You have a very nice baritone.
I see what you're doing.
Hmm.
I may have to cut you off a little soon. You're getting a little friendly with the barkeep here.
Oh, Morty. I would never. Samuel and I are very close.
Your book's upside down there.
Oh, right. Yes, of course.
I'm going to bring you some water.
It's not necessary, really. It's fine. Okay, maybe you're right. I'm sure. Can you ask that Leela to maybe make me something salty or something? She did so well on the steak salad.
Well, I can certainly ask.
Absorb.
I'm sure she would love the opportunity. And he'll walk back. Lilo, we got Miss Helena's got a hankering for something salty. Just whatever you got. I'm sure you'll come up with something great. Door closed.
Thanks, Morty.
Okay. Verona is still outside, right? She's still like doing her thing with the family.
I will come back in after I rescue the Shermie Temple glass.
And steal everything.
And steal everything. What else am I here for?
Miss Verona. What should I make that's salty? Do we have any pretzels?
Firstly, how many times do I have to tell you? Do not call me Miss Verona.
All right, I'm sorry.
Sorry, what? What's my name?
Verona.
That's right.
Okay.
Second. What? Salty? What do you...
Miss Helena wants something salty. I don't know if we still have those pretzels from last month.
Oh, those pocket pretzels? Yeah.
They're very conveniently sized.
They're very conveniently sized. Why don't you take them out to her?
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm going to put them on a plate, and I'm going to go on.
Just Miss Verona, that's me. Miss Helena. Miss Helena. She doesn't like prolonged eye contact, so make sure you look everywhere except for her face.
Okay, I can do that. I don't think. Do I stare too long at people's faces? Is that what I mean?
just Miss Helena.
Okay.
And
Helena, okay.
maybe give her a little bow when you're done.
Okay, I can do. I'll
Do
try
you want
not
another
to.
cupcake before you go? Hey, I actually got you something else.
Really?
Yeah, look at this really cool pocket watch.
Oh, that looks super fancy.
It is. It made me think of you.
Why? Thank
Because
you.
you're very fancy.
Oh, sometime. Okay. Thank you.
But I think you should keep it back here. I don't think you should take it out with you. I think you should we'll just keep it in your locker.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna go put it in your locker.
Don't let Stitch see it. He likes to throw shiny things out windows.
Okay, I'm gonna put this pocket watch in your locker, and it's yours.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Okay.
Do you want a cupcake before you go? I got another one.
I'm focused. I'm not gonna trip. I'm not gonna stumble. I'm good.
Hey.
And I'm gonna.
Take a breath. Yeah, just like that, but do 20 more and then go out there.
I feel like I'll hyperventilate, but if you say so. No, I can't do it because I will.
Like panting.
I would like to go out. I'm trying really hard not to knock into anything. Trip anything over.
Let's make it dex safe. No, dex check, please.
Yeah. Well, they're the same thing for me, so it's fine.
Okay, perfect.
Oh, natural 20, folks.
Hey!
Oh, you feel like there's a moment where your foot might catch on something, but you're remembering how Verona was telling you to breathe, and so you kind of catch yourself as you're taking a breath, and you steady yourself, and everything's okay. Shockingly enough.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm going to put the plate in front of Miss Helena, and I'm going to, Miss Helena, I hope that you really enjoy the pretzels. I hope that they're salty enough for you. Have a wonderful bye. Thank you, Lilo. These are delicious. Mortimer, these pretzels are fantastic. This is the best tavern ever. Can I have another glass of wine, please? Now that I've had water and pretzels. See, I'm fine. Really, truly. Just everybody here at the bar. This is my favorite tavern ever. They take such good care of us. Everybody should come here all the time.
Make a persuasion check. Actually, yeah. We'll go persuasion.
Great.
Oh. They're giving you some looks that they're a little put off, I think, maybe by how the wine is obviously having some effect, and I think they may be questioning if it's you or the alcohol that is promoting this tavern so loudly.
No, truly, it's like a family here. It just warms my heart.
At this point, Mortimer was about to reach for the glass to start on the special drink, but then at that point runs over.
Miss Helena, that is so very kind of you to say. But I think there was something that was in the kitchen that I think Terrence needed some assistance with. Now, if you wouldn't mind just giving him a hand back there.
Anything for you, Morty. And I go back to the kitchen. Terrence.
What?
Hi.
And you see Mortimer peeking through the door and just like, and close the door.
Hi. Morty said you needed some help back here, and I thought...
Yeah, we needed a taste tester, and your refined palate is just perfect for the job. Lilo here is new, and we're teaching her some new recipes, so yeah.
Really? Absolutely. Anything for you. Now, where do you want me for this?
Just sit right here on this barrel. I'll get you a drink. Lilo, start making something.
Oh, great.
What am I, chopped liver?
Miss
I mean,
what
that's
do I make?
what you serve, yeah.
What do I make?
Chopped liver.
Okay. So
We
I just
don't
chop the
have
liver? Is that... okay.
I know, that's me out of character saying we don't have liver.
I have plenty of walrus.
Walrus. Yes, whatever you've got, I'm here to taste it. Also, can I have a glass of Cabernet Sauvignon, please?
Of
Layla,
course.
I
It's
need you
just
to make me
rum.
some snipe liver.
Some what?
Snipe liver. It's in the back.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes.
Okay, I can't even do this to you. You're too cute. All right, get back here. There's no snipe liver. There's no snipe liver. God, why are you so cute?
I'm really fast. Too fast. Too fast. Just too fast.
If I peek out into the tavern area, what's going on out there?
Make me a perception check.
Not bad, not bad, not bad. That's a natural 9. Plus 6. 15.
Okay. So you the first thing that you see is a Vincent who seems to be watching the kitchen, almost waiting for you to return. Sees you looking out and ducks back behind. Yeah. Is there anything in particular that you're looking for?
I just want to see how it's going. I want to make sure everybody's having a good time. Because believe it or not, despite my blasé attitude, I do actually kind of like a little bit.
So
care.
it seems like everybody's having a time. They're all enjoying some cake. A few people are snacking on some of the food that's already come out. The general atmosphere is pretty positive.
Okay. All right, I'm just gonna get back to cooking then.
Mortimer, are you back out in the?
I'm back out in the what's it called in the business front? I'm in the front.
The front.
Front of the house.
Yeah.
Front of the house. So what are you going to make the drink, or are you?
I think it's about time to make that Shermie Temple.
So as you
That's
walk,
been foretold.
as you walk over, you see a pair of very small hands reaching for this cup. He's way too short to reach it, but he's kind of. You see Anlo reaching for the cup because it looks pretty. You made it really prettily.
I did.
Fun. Looks like a great toy. And he's not really saying anything. He's just reaching for it.
Mm-hmm. All right, there, little fella. Oh, and he's going to try to pick him up, just like put him on the hip.
Okay. He'll
What age is this kid? I pictured like 3.
Like-
so
Please make an animal handling check.
He's 3. Make a general charisma check.
Dang it.
sure. All right. Charisma.
Not quite.
Okay. Here we
I
go.
didn't do that for Vincent though.
That is an 11.
He does not seem super thrilled. He's not crying. But he's like, kind of just looking at you strangely. He's not
Stranger danger.
a little bit of stranger danger. He's also still kind of fixated on this pretty little glass that you have.
Yeah, I have my hip on the hip away from the glass.
Yeah, sure.
And I will go ahead and grab, I imagine we have like sort of kids' cups, and I'm just going to whip together a quick, like one-handed chocolate milk with whipped cream on top.
Give me a dex check with disadvantage. We'll make it straight because you're a bartender, so just give me a dex
Okay.
check.
Go! Well, that's a natural 3, which will make it a 5.
So he's staring at you as you make it. He's interested in what you're doing as you make it. And then as soon as you're done, he kind of looks at you, and then he looks back at the other glass and starts reaching for the glass again.
Okay, well, this isn't part of my job description. And Mortimer's going to try and walk through the crowds back to the family.
As you move further away from the glass, you can hit the Anlo's face starts to kind of crumple.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time you get about 5 feet away from mom and dad, he is screaming.
Mm-hmm.
And it is I will not do it. I will not put you guys through that. But he is screaming, and he is gesturing very angrily towards this glass that you did not let him play with.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And his parents, oh no, what's going on? And they hurry to take him away. And what happened?
Well, this little fella found his way behind the bar. I think he is interested in the special glass. And you know what? Why don't I just get it all set and bring it over to the table really quick?
Okay. And you can see her. She kind of goes back to trying to calm her very, very unhappy 3-year-old. Not given his toy.
Mortimer's going to rush behind the counter, and he's going to peek his head through the door. We got a screaming kid. If anyone's want to take that entertainment of some kind, it's on you guys. Go. Close the door.
I don't do kids.
All right. I'm on it.
I can.
Nope. Yep, you're staying here.
Okay.
Keep her entertained. Pointing over at Helena. And I'll walk out and I'll give a whistle and have my 3 cats that are still looking for Stitch come to me. And then we'll walk over to the kid and I'll just pick one up, put it on my head, pick the other one up, hand it to him, and then pick the third one up and try and have it like do a little standing thing in my hands.
Roll a performance check at advantage.
Ooh. Performance. Good thing it's at advantage. That'll be 19.
So you see, he's like, he doesn't want to be, he still wants to be upset a little bit, but he's got a cat now and it's fuzzy and it's warm and you've got a cat on your head and you were on that card. You were that goblin.
And I'll do prestidigitation. I also do birthday parties, folks. Terrence and the Alley Cats.
And he kind of starts to smile. He doesn't really know what you're talking about, but he is entertained and the screaming has stopped. The tears have stopped and he's kind of smiling at you. You hear a little giggle and Mom looks very relieved.
Catch you later. And then I'll just sort of make rounds with the cats doing prestidigitation and disguise self, their cantrips. So
Beautiful. Mortimer, how's that drink going?
I am making it the best I know how. I'm just about to put the candle on top and set it alight.
Sounds great. Roll me. No, I think you're good. So you have it all prepared. Present it to the birthday girl. She takes it. She's very excited. Thank you so much. This looks beautiful.
Oh, well, nothing's too good for you on your special day, young lady.
And you hear one of the families that has come to celebrate kind of lift a glass to Caitlin on her birthday. And you hear everybody raises their glass. There's the light clinking of glasses as everybody cheers the birthday girl. And everybody has had a great time. There's a good vibe now that there's no crying children. And I think that is where we will end tonight.
Hey!
Hey!
Laverne,
That was so cute!
That was so much fun.
Aww!
That was so good.
I love it so much.
So, Mindy, can I tell them the secret?
I feel like it's probably not a secret, but sure.
It's definitely a secret because this was first time, Mindy's not only her first time streaming as a DM, but this was her first time as a Dungeon Master.
Yay!
Isn't that absolutely startling?
So
Holy
good.
crap, it was so good. I am pale. I have a whole page for call outs. Like, I'm so excited. I'm so ready for this.
You did so well.
I'm
I know.
so here for it.
If I didn't know already, I wouldn't have known.
I didn't know.
Oh, that you did.
Everybody in the chat is freaking out. They're so excited for you.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are so sweet.
That's all I wanted to say.
Hurts.
Mine too, from laughing.
Also, it's Kate's birthday.
Also, it's Kate's birthday!
Thank you, Mindy. And thank you for pushing your birthday, but thank you, Mindy.
Happy birthday. I was excited that I got to, I was terrified, but I was excited that I got to do this on your birthday.
Perfect ending to my day.
So good.
So great.
So I guess we will sign off. Camille, will you get us started for us?
Sure. First, before we do, I want to thank our sponsor, Campaign Coins. They're amazing.
Campaign
Go
coin.
visit their stuff. CampaignCoins.com or at Camping Coins on Twitter. If you like what we're doing here, come check us out on Open for Adventure. I'm sorry, I'm doing all that. Do you want me to do them things, Mindy, or do you want to do them?
No, you're fine. Go for it. Go for it.
Okay, cool. I'm just so used to doing them because I always.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm dancing. Thank
It's
you,
Kate's
Spotify.
birthday.
It's Kate's birthday. If you like what we're doing here on Open for come check us out on Open for Adventure. Please do not forget to give Hoda a follow if you can. Subscribe them. Come check us out on Twitter at Open for Adventure, the number 4. I'm Camille. Tonight I got the very special privilege of playing. I love to play. I never get to do it. I'm sorry, I'm trying to find a really good song. Okay. I played Verona, the half-elf rogue, who likes to steal shit and give it to other people. You can find me on Twitter at CamilleDoesDND, and you can find me on the channel.
Hey, and I'm Connor. I played Mortimer the bartender, who was just sort of passively a rogue, didn't really get to do much with it. But you can find me on the Hoda channel on Tuesday nights, 6:30 PST, or on Sunday nights, also on the Hoda channel, 6:30 PST. Playing 2 different characters in 2 awesome campaigns.
You can also find me on Hoda or on Botchfight on YouTube. I played Terrence, the PI.
Excellent. I'm Jordan. You can find me on Twitter and Twitch at The Lady Dame. I played Helena Weaver, the human fighter / human drunk tonight. Which was, yeah, I stream Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays most of the time at 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for if you're up that late and need something to watch.
What's your stream about?
Well, it changes. Monday nights I play really silly games. Wednesdays I craft, and Friday nights I read fan fiction out loud. So tonight I'll be reading some Dragon Age fan fiction. Yeah.
I'm Kate, the birthday girl.
Yay!
I played Lilo, the halfling wizard, aka the halfling klutz, and her terrible familiar Stitch. And you can find me on O4A every Monday night, and you can find me on Twitter and everywhere else important at Very Pale Ale.
I'm Mindy. This is so weird to say. I was the dungeon master tonight. You can find me on O4A playing Leona on Monday nights. And you can also find me on Twitter at MKAY1713.
Can we get one final round of applause for our amazing dungeon master tonight? Woo!
Yay!
So good! So good!
So good.
I'm so excited.
So that is going to wrap us up tonight for Side Quest. Thanks for dropping by. Give Hoda a follow, a subscribe if you can. Go check out O4A. Give us a follow or subscribe if you can. And we'll catch you next week.
Bye!